who's actually presenting it tonight, and we've also got a few of our chamber partners as well. It's really great to see a lot of the chambers and community groups on board with this particular project. It's excellent. What you're going to learn tonight, we're actually going to go through and see what types of e-commerce merchants there are. So what are the type of e-commerce merchants that we actually are. The e-commerce platforms, a look at where and how e-commerce takes place. I touched on it quite a bit on Tuesday night about the fact that many people are already on Facebook. But what we need to do, and we can do, is actually turn Facebook, for example, into an e-commerce site by adding in the shop. So I'm going to go through and show you a few more visual things tonight. So we've only got an hour, but we'll try and get it all in, just to sort of give you a bit of an insight in regards to what you can do in this space. We're also going to look at what's trending. What are going to be the things that are going to continue to grow in 2020 and beyond? So a few key, there's probably about 3 trends that are really being used at the moment and being developed at the moment. And those trends are going to be something that are going to be with us forever a day. If you just come into the room, just make sure you actually put your name and also your business name within the chat area, please, just to make sure. If you've got a question, that's very good. Now, the types of e-commerce merchants, there are a couple. There's around 3 that we're going to look at tonight. One of those is stores that sell physical goods. These are your typical online retailers. They can include apparel stores, homeware businesses, gift shops, just to name a few. Stores that sell physical goods showcase the items online and enable shoppers to add the things they like in their virtual shopping carts, for example, online. Once the transaction is complete, the store typically ships the orders to the shopper through a growing number of retailers and are implementing initiatives such as in-store pickups. You may have actually seen, or yourself may have actually ordered something online to go and pick it up. That is becoming more popular in this particular e-commerce environment through an e-commerce website, and also shopping through your site as well. So whether it's through a website or whether it's through social media platforms. So we're going to go through and look at that tonight. But generally, stores that have physical goods that you can actually order from in-store in retailer. The next one we're looking at is service-based e-tailers. So these are your typical online retailers. They can include apparel stores again, homeware businesses and gift shops, just to name a few again. Stores that sell physical goods that showcase items and enable shoppers to place items in their product as well. So they're very, very similar, an e-based retailer, very similar to a general storefront retailer. Digital products, for example, might be where in e-commerce by nature is wholly digital, so it's no surprise that many merchants sell e-goods online. So an e-good might be, let's just say that I am a training provider or I'm a registered training organisation. I can actually sell my products and services online to people. So that's a digital e-transaction. Common types of digital products include e-books, online courses, so if you're doing online courses, software, graphics, and virtual goods. So these are the type of things that people can buy off a website and actually download it as their purchase. It's not actually a in-store type physical purchase. It's what people can actually order from you or download from your e-commerce site directly from you. Okay. E-commerce platforms, there's so many things to choose from, and that's what I say here before. We've only got an hour, but there's so much to tell you here tonight. So e-commerce platforms look at where and how e-commerce takes place, okay? One of the main areas that we look at is online storefronts, okay? So having an online storefront is one of the most straightforward ways to conduct e-commerce. So a storefront being a website or an e-commerce website. The merchant creates a website and uses it to sell. And I'm going to show you that this evening. So yeah, we create a website in order to sell. And what we do from here is if we want to actually look at shopping carts and e-commerce solutions, it will depend on what type of product and service we're actually going to be selling. So we will go through that and I'll show you how that actually is built tonight. You would have heard of, there's probably 3 major e-commerce driven sites that you can actually use, and one of those is Shopify. Shopify is one of the most popular choices among many SMBs. Shopify has features that let you sell online, on social media, allows you to sell on social media as well, or in person. It lets merchants build and customize their e-commerce site through easy-to-use interfaces and templates, and has features such as inventory management, reporting, buy buttons, and more. It also has social selling functionalities for those who are active on sites like Facebook and Pinterest, for example, depending on what area you're in. So Shopify is one of the main e-commerce website softwares or elements that you can actually use. It's probably one of the more popular ones. The second most popular one, or up there with Shopify, is WooCommerce. And with WooCommerce, it's an open source commerce platform for WordPress. I think I did mention that a couple of times there on Tuesday evening. It comes with standard features such as analytics and reporting. So it actually shows you, like I showed you on Tuesday night in regards to Google Analytics, it shows you where people are buying from your store from. Built specifically for WordPress, WooCommerce seamlessly connects with the platform that makes it a very attractive choice for existing WP users. Okay, so WooCommerce is one of the easier website hosts to actually use. And the same with Squarespace. Squarespace is really quite good, primarily because if you're a merchant and you're selling goods, for example, you can actually take payments through Squarespace. So they actually give you like a toggle that you can actually, people can, off they go, okay, and actually purchase from you on site. So what Squarespace allows you to do is to showcase your products that with their absolute best, and allows your visitors to browse your merchandise, add items to their cart, and to check out simply and efficiently. A seamless type of process, which many people are definitely after these days. Do we have any questions about those 3 e-commerce sites that I've just advised you of? No, we're all good. Just remember, if you want to ask me a question, by all means, please ask me a question, and we can actually go through and yeah, I can answer it as we go. So it's going to go through here. Get off that. Just going to share a screen with you here very shortly. Get into that screen. Share. Okay. So, can you see that screen on the on your screen there, Kate? Kate's still online.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so Shopify here, for example. Shopify is a very easy to use platform, again, as we just mentioned there before. So it's got many different types of features, including your selling space, where you can actually go. So you can have like an online store, point of sale, buy buttons, checkout buttons, sales channels, that type of thing. So Shopify is one platform that you most certainly could consider. The next platform that you could consider, which I mentioned there before, was WooCommerce. Okay, so WooCommerce again is very similar to very similar to Shopify, but WooCommerce again has many different selling points, including the ability to take payments, marketing, shipping. You can even develop a mobile app if you wish through WooCommerce. It has different types of market places, etc. With Squarespace, for example, Squarespace, so Shopify, WooCommerce, Squarespace, their functionality and their costings are very much the same. So when you actually create an account, for example, and when this is actually Squarespace, it actually allows you to look at all the different types of templates, for example. So if I just clicked on this template here, it'll actually load all these different types of layouts for you. So you can actually go through and check out a layout in which to develop your website on. Okay? You know, so they obviously have genre-specific types of areas or website templates that you can choose from. So in here, for example, if we look at things like an online store, we might go, yep, we want an online store, and we like the look of this particular one here, for example. And what we basically do is once we get this template and we like the look of the template, we can actually start going in, if it just opens for me, we can actually start going in here to start creating our website. You're basically looking at right here and now, you're basically looking at a website template. As simple as that, okay? This is going to allow you, this is going to allow you to actually go through and create your own pages. It allows you to go through and create your own designs as well. So we'd like to put your fonts. So if you've got a particular branding, like I mentioned on Tuesday night, if you've got a style guide, for example, you can go through and apply your colors and your branding to these sites. You can actually put in different types of buttons. You can type in, put in obviously your products and items. So with these type of templates, for example, the reason why I like them so much is the fact that it's very much drop and drag, or it's very much you inputting what you want to input into the actual platform based on what particular business you actually have. So it is really, really quite good. The great thing about this as well, it actually shows you the mobile version. So remember what I said there on Tuesday evening. 90% of Australians over the age of 18 have a mobile device. So the brilliant thing about this is it actually shows you what the site is going to look like. Obviously, we haven't put in what we want to put in just yet, but this particular layout here shows you what the website will look like on a device. Okay, so that's very, very good. The beauty again of Shopify and also WooCommerce and also Squarespace, they're three very similar platforms that offer many of the same type of things, but there's a couple of different things as well that you can actually look at with Squarespace as well. Okay, very good. So that's basically what we're looking at when it comes in terms of setting up a general e-commerce website. Okay, simple as that. I know I might make it sound really simple, but it really is. I mean, when you're looking at that particular template, those templates, for example, they are very easy to use. I think I did mention again too on Tuesday night. It's like building with Lego blocks. You put in what you want to put in, and you drive how you want to actually build your website. A lot of these website platforms are self-driven, where you can actually build them yourselves. Or if you engage with your program later on in regards to your one-on-one mentoring, we can actually show you what you need to do to build your own website. Remember on Tuesday night, I said about $2,500 generally if you want to get someone to build a website for you. In this particular space, if you wanted to sell things online, you want to be able to get data, this is the place that you need to be, okay? And you should be. So it's very, very easy to share. Rightio, I'm going to put this on here. So what we're looking at here now is online marketplaces. Now, funnily enough, today, one of the marketplaces decided that they were going to be building a distribution centre in Queensland. So online marketplaces, e-commerce transactions can also take place on online marketplaces, sites that facilitate transactions between merchants and customers. Actually, before I go on, did anyone have a question from the floor in regards to Shopify or WooCommerce or Squarespace at all? Don't be scared to ask a question. It's all good because we've got this amount of people in the room here tonight. We've got quite a few here. But if you've got a question, by all means, unmute yourself and ask away. Okay. So online marketplaces. Commerce transactions can also take place online in marketplaces. Sites that facilitate transactions between a merchant, which is you guys, and customers. Many online marketplaces don't own inventory. Rather, they just connect buyers and sellers and give them a platform on which to do business. Okay, so you don't need to build your own website. in the e-commerce space, you might actually provide your product online or a host online in order to sell your product. And those type of online places are things like eBay. Okay, many people may have actually purchased things from eBay, but have they ever sold anything on eBay as a business? So depending on what type of business genre type you have or are, yeah, you can sell your items on eBay. You can build your own little store in eBay and sell from eBay if you wish. The advantages of eBay is this online marketplace that connects merchants and buyers, facilitating business to business, business to customer, and C2C e-commerce. And eBay offers products in several categories, including electronics, cars, fashion, collectibles, and more. So they've actually expanded on that a little bit more. So you can actually create your own eBay store as a business in order to sell online. Amazon, I just mentioned there before, Amazon have recently, or as of today, advised that they are building a massive warehouse, an Amazon warehouse here in Queensland, which is going to be fantastic for people in Australia who like to try and sell things online or actually engage within this particular marketplace. So Amazon in Australia now is certainly becoming more popular. And one of the reasons being is its brand, its owner is the richest man in the world and continues to get even richer during this particular time. And Amazon is one of the world's largest online marketplaces, offering extensive selections of books, electronics, apparel, accessories, baby products, and more. So when we're actually looking at things like online marketplaces, the beauty of this type of thing is you don't have to do all the hard yards. When you've got an e-commerce store, for example, it's already there for you. Basically, it's like a host platform. It's a host platform for you. So that's always something very, very important to understand, is that if you're not really wanting to get yourself a website, a general website, or you're not basically wanting to, have to do the hard yards, these host platforms are a very good option moving forward for you. Okay, so hopefully you've got my screen there. Can you see eBay on there?
Yep, sure can.
Good. So when you actually go into the eBay site, for example, what we look at doing is actually setting up an account for ourselves. So it's as simple as going into their site and clicking on the sell button. Okay, twice. And in here, it actually takes you through what you need to do in order to be able to sell in their marketplace, okay? So you can create your own area, you can start listing your products, you can get paid quickly as well. So yeah, it does, eBay, for example, handles all the transactional activity for you. They can even send it for you. They can send it for you on your behalf. And yeah, you can actually start selling in this space on eBay. So they're basically providing you with a host platform in order for you to be able to, get your product out to as many people as you want within Australia in general. This is within Australia, okay? So the big thing about being able to sell on places like eBay or a platform like eBay is the fact that your listing fee is free and the final value of what they take is 10.9%. So there are a few little particulars that you need to look at in regards to selling in these spaces. There obviously is a percentage component that goes to eBay, but again, setting this whole site up, for example, is very, very easy to do. All it does is and all it really needs to do is it takes your time to do it, and that's it in the eBay space. Did we have any questions from the floor in regards to eBay at all? No, we all good? Very good, okay. Amazon services, again, are very similar in operation regards to eBay, where you actually go in and start selling. So you can actually start selling as of now, if you wish. Actually set up your account as a business and actually start selling. The really, really good thing, I suppose, with Amazon is that they do have a higher selling rate. So they'll take more of your product than eBay does or will. And I suppose one of the things that you need to be looking at when it comes to things like Amazon is also the fact now that they're building distribution centres more distribution centres in Australia, is that your product is going to be able to get to places quicker. And that's what we're really looking at here. So what I would actually say to you is most certainly go through and have a look at these particular sites. So if you're not terribly keen on actually building your own website or building a e-commerce website, for example, this here is another fantastic option for you that you might want to be looking at. Okay. And going through that sales process.
Clinton, just Celeste from Jandowie here.
Let's off you go.
Just a random question. Selling through those two places, it's kind of a bit like a real estate agent. If those people contact you privately, and can you sell them stuff without going through eBay?
Yes, you can. 100% you can. So obviously what we've got to look at is that eBay is effectively a host. That's all they are. They're hosting your product and service. And if a sale goes through their site, they'll actually take a percentage of the sale, okay? Whereas people might see your shop on eBay or on Amazon, and they might actually then go, no, I'm going to contact that business directly. This is basically an allowance of another selling platform for you. So if you don't actually have an online store as yet, effectively a lot of people don't have an online store who are in the room here tonight. This is basically just making it a little bit easier for you. So they can contact you directly. So let's say that's actually a good question, because it's no different, I suppose, to having a website and people trying to buy something through your website, or if they ring you or contact you directly. But that is allowed. Okay. Any other questions in regards to Amazon or eBay in regards to being able to sell online? Okay, very good. Social media. Social media is another effective tool in regards to being able to sell online. So social media can pave the way for e-commerce in two ways. Social sites can facilitate a sale by directing shoppers to a merchant's e-commerce site, or they can allow users to buy something directly on the platform. Now, in this case, when we're looking at you guys, predominantly in the room here, and when I went through and had a look at all the businesses that have engaged with this particular program, you are very much top-heavy users of Facebook. So people are very, very engaged with the Facebook side of things. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what we're looking at doing is about how you use your social media platforms more effectively in order to generate sales. So in this case, with Facebook users spend an average of 40 plus minutes per day on this particular site. So 40 minutes plus minutes per day people spend on Facebook. I know that might be hard to believe, but they seriously are. And a good chunk of that time goes towards Facebook shopping, where people are actually scrolling through products, or if there's a post, and in that post there's a shop now button, or if there's a link directly to the website, that's what people are generally doing. The why and how to sell on Facebook. There have been a couple of changes in the last month or so with Facebook and Facebook shops, which I'm going to run through with you. But what's great about Facebook shop page is that you don't even need to have any pre-existing online store. So you don't need an online store or a landing point. And you can run your entire operation via Facebook if you want to, okay? But the benefits don't end there. With a Facebook shop page, you can add unlimited number of products. So the amount of products in there now is unlimited. Organise your products into collections and categories. Communicate with your customers through the page directly. See stats on your sales, visits, and more. So you're actually getting that same type of critical data that you need to make sure or understand that what you're doing is right. and get your products appearing in Facebook Marketplace, giving you access to a much larger base of potential customers. So there's a few different types of selling points and areas on Facebook already that you can be engaging with. So when we're actually looking at this here, I'm just going to quickly get this open. Just who in the room here already has a Facebook shop that they've got operational at the moment? If you do, can you please unmute yourself if you've already got a Facebook shop operational? No one in the room's got a Facebook shop so far? Okay, that's all right. I'm just going to get this window open because I really do need to show you, this here. Okay, rightio. So what I'm going to basically do now is go through and show you how to set up a Facebook shop. Now I've just, you can see that screen there okay, Kate? Can you see it? Yep, very good. Thank you very much for that. I'll just ask you for reassurance because the screen's playing up a little bit tonight.
No worries.
This particular area here is a TJM 4x4 Megastore Facebook page, encouraging people to get out and explore Australia at the moment. So the borders are now open, which is fantastic. When you're actually on a Facebook business page, and this is a little bit of a tip outside of the e-commerce side of things. The main area that you need to look at on a Facebook page or a business Facebook page is the settings area. This area here, okay? One of the things that we need to do is make sure that you are aware that when you click on this settings button here, this is actually taking you into the back end of Facebook. So when you click on that settings button, this is taking you into the back end of Facebook and allowing you to be able to do the things behind the scenes on Facebook that you, in order to get people to see your layout, do your different types of things. When we go into the back end of Facebook here to create a store, what we basically need to do is go into what we call templates and tabs. So when we click on templates and tabs, what we basically do, we go through here, it'll bring up all the current tabs that are in the back end of this Facebook page here. So what you see on the home page of this particular Facebook page, this is it here, okay? And then what we do is we go in here and add a tab. And see all these different types of tabs here that we can actually add into this particular site. We're going to add in the shop tab. Now, when we introduce things like a shop tab, I'll just get out of there. A few live things happening here at the moment. When we go in and do the shop tab, what we can actually do, you can move your tabs around. So we're going to put that shop tab up the top of the page, okay? And so now when we go back into the home page here, the shop tab is now there, okay? So what we're effectively doing is we are now building an e-commerce shop on Facebook, all right? So this point here, and I'm going to keep it very basic at this point in time, so I don't want to get bogged down in this area, and sorry about all these 1,010 notifications coming through. What we do is we go into the shop, we click into the shop, and what we do is we add a product. So in this case here, we want to add a product. Let's just say I've already got a product ready and raring to go. This particular one here, we want to sell these rear view mirror extensions on a car. So we're just going to put this in here, okay, and that's uploading, hopefully very quickly. And then all we do is use that photo, and we might put in here rear view mirrors. I'm just dummying this up for the sake of this purpose. And what we might put in here is we might put that the price is $300, okay? We can even tell people if the product is on sale, and we can even tell people, and if we want to, we can actually put the product on sale. If we can go, oh, it was $300, but now it's actually, boy, I'll go back in there. Whoops, we've gone out of the area. Sorry, I'll just get back in there. Click me out. Product. I'll just get back to where I was. This is incredibly easy. This particular area here would take you about 10 to 15 minutes to do just to set it up, if that, okay? But what you're actually doing is you're introducing a new sales platform into your Facebook page. So like I said there before, I'll just put in mirrors here. The price is $300. If that's the price, leave it at that price. If the product's on sale, we can actually go, well, it was $300, but it's now $250. Okay, but in this particular instance, I'm actually going to just leave it there as $300, and we can put in a very big description here if we like. So we might just put in there caravan mirrors. Okay. You don't have to put in a website link here, obviously, because we don't have one. But in this case here, you can actually share that product to your page, or while you're building the shop, what I generally tell people to do is don't share it to your page until you've got all your products up, and then go back in and then share all your products, okay? See how it says here, published, public or unpublished? And then what we can basically do, if it's, you might have like a mower shop, for example, in Dalby, and you might have a second-hand mower, for example, or these mirrors might be second-hand, so they're either going to be new, refurbished, used, etc. And you actually put the description. Then all you basically do, I think I'll put it in there, but I'll delete it. Yeah, I've got my URL on there. What we generally do with the URL is we can actually put our Facebook page link in the URL if we wish, okay? And then we publish it to, which is up here, and then we publish that to the platform. But the really, really good thing about this here, for example, is the fact that you are able to sell through the Facebook page, like as an e-commerce type page, okay? And that is one of those things that is very quick to do. It's very easy to do. And I'm going to go through here and just show you a little bit of an example, if I can show you this again. Screen is playing up. This here, for example, is a Facebook shop. So once they've actually got all their products in here, in this particular instance, they've got shirts that they're selling. You can actually go through and have a look at that particular shirt. So in this case, if I want that shirt, I can actually go, yeah, I like that, $29. You can message the business and say, I'd like to purchase that shirt, okay? And then write notes, etc. in there. The good thing as well is that if you've got your Facebook page, you can actually share this product on your Facebook page as a post. So you can actually share these products on your Facebook page as a post, so people can click from that post straight into your e-commerce shirt. So instead of just liking this particular black singlet, for example, they might go, oh no, I also like that as well. The other good thing about this particular Facebook shop, for example, is the fact that you can actually categorize your products and your services in here as well. Okay, so Facebook shops, very, very good to be able to set up. Very easy in regards to transactional activity, and the really good thing about that is the fact that it's very, very simple and easy to set up. Okay.
Clint, just Celeste, sorry to be a pain.
That's all right, Celeste, fire away. I like questions.
So if I'm going to that store to buy a singlet and a shirt,
Yes.
when you clicked on the singlet and it had the option to click on the messenger, do I have to do that for each individual item that I want, or can you take it all to a store with an amount?
Yeah, so in this particular case here, if you had an e-commerce, let's just say that, you know, when I had that URL, that area where it said you can put like a website URL in, if we did have an e-commerce site, what that basically does, it'll take it from your social media shop and goes straight to your e-commerce store to do the transaction. Okay, so if you build a shop on Facebook and you've actually got yourself a, like an e-commerce store, e.g., the stores you're going to build on either WooCommerce or one of those platforms, for example, that will then allow you to complete the transaction. I'm going to show you something very shortly. A very good question, Celeste, because I'm going to show you something about Messenger in regards to how we can actually create sales through Messenger. Okay, so that is a very, very good question, what you just asked there. So, and once I go through the Messenger side of things, you'll get more of an understanding in regards to what I'm actually talking about here. Okay, does that answer your question okay?
Yes, thank you.
That's good. So this, bear in mind, I'm going to show you something very shortly here that will actually allow you to understand what I'm sort of talking about there. So the next area there, so that's Facebook. So that's another area. The people in the room sort of think that they could use Facebook as an e-commerce site. I'm just curious. Like if you didn't know, just say, no, I didn't know that you could actually set your Facebook page up so people could actually buy things from you on Facebook. You know, that's okay, because these are all learning things. And like I say, when you go through and do your one-on-one coaching, for example, this might be a really good avenue for you in order to sell products and services through Facebook. The other area that's really quite good as well, I'm going to stick with this page here, is Messenger, Facebook Messenger. If you take the time after tonight, or if you got a little bit of spare time on your hands on the weekend, go and have a look at my social media platforms on my website and hunt out a blog that I wrote about Facebook Messenger. I find that Facebook Messenger is going to be the one of the number one selling tools this year and the next few years moving forward. If you got my video today, for example, my email marketing video, I'm always trying to get people to go to my website and talk to me on my website. Like I said on Tuesday night, when people are actually landing on your website, you want them to be able to engage with you, primarily because you know how to sell your own business. And so that is something that is most important when it comes to it's most important when it comes to actually sales, number one, and selling extra product, number two. So when we actually go through and have a look at Messenger, to date, around 60 million companies are present on Facebook Messenger because people are accessible. You're able to reach out to people and people are able to talk to you a lot sooner and a lot quicker. As I say, people are more impatient these days. They're asking for something now, but they wanted it 2 days ago. So these type of mechanisms that we have in place allow you to engage with customers or current customers and potential customers. However, not all of them use the same approach when it comes to the management of this channel of Messenger. In most cases, in fact, the Messenger app is used simply as a passive tool to handle client requests. So I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that many in the people in the room here, for example, would have received a Facebook Messenger conversation at some point, but it's more than just a conversational tool or an engagement tool. It's also a selling tool. On the other hand, only a few companies use this tool to generate new chats and potential clients. Also by using paid ads, by guiding the customer through the entire sales funnel process. So that whole process of seeing a Facebook post to sell a product, that whole sales process. So from product discovery to payment. And whatever might be the approach you want to choose for your e-commerce, let's see which are the steps to follow to start selling Facebook Messenger. As I said before, on Tuesday night, the last thing I said on Tuesday night was if you build a e-commerce website or if you build a website yourself, make sure that you have the Facebook Messenger application in your website. When we build websites now, or my business builds websites now, we do not make any website live unless they've got Facebook Messenger in the website. It is that much of a powerful selling tool. How to connect Facebook Messenger to your e-commerce. Before you can start selling products via Messenger, you need to link your website e-commerce to the app. And again, like I said there on Tuesday evening, sorry if I keep reverting back to Tuesday, and apologies if you weren't in the presentation was recorded. You can go back and re-watch that. It's very easy to set these applications up into a website. After all, Messenger is not connected to your website in any way. It's possible to retrieve product information, price changes, or more. Simply allow the visitor to select Messenger and communicate channels. So once they're on your website, they can talk directly to you, just like people who can talk to you through Facebook, just like people can talk to you straight through Instagram. They can talk to you straight through your website as well in order to create the sale. I'll go back to Celeste very shortly in regards to her question because it was a ripper. There are 3 ways you can connect Messenger to your e-commerce. One does not exclude the other. So connect Messenger to your product catalog on your e-commerce site so people can actually see a catalog that you've got. Add Messenger live chat to your website as well. So that's what I obviously been rambling on about in the last 2 minutes, but also last Tuesday night. And add a buy button to your Messenger account as well. So Messenger, as it stands, is extraordinarily fantastic in regards to being able to create a sale. And the reason for that, and I'm going to come in here and show you. So I'll stop this screen. Apologies tonight that we're flicking a little bit from screen to screen, but it is important that I actually show you this type of stuff live in real time. So you actually get the real look and feel of what I'm talking about. Can you see this area here? See that on the screen there in regards to all the messages? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This here, for example, is all the messages that this particular page is receiving. So they've got a relatively good contact rate in regards to their messages, okay? Generally, this particular site, it does depend, but generally depending on this particular site, they get around 20 plus messages a day, usually 20 plus messages a day. And all these messages here, 92% of the messages that you can probably see in front of you here are all generated through a website. They've got through the Messenger on the website, they're talking from the Messenger on the website to here. Okay. The really good question that was asked there before about the shop. Let's just say that I want to send this person a product after I've built my shop. I can actually go in and search for a product that I've built on my store and send it to that person. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, if that person, this Fraser driver, he's after a light bar for he's after brackets for a light bar, for example. Let's just say that we had the light bars available and we want to sell that to him. We can actually create a payment request and say, rightio, the light bars themselves, if the product was in here, is $12. We actually say this payment here is for this particular product, and that whole transaction can be done all through Messenger. He can pay you through Messenger. Okay? That's to the extent of it. And all you've got to do is in Messenger, in the back end, remember before when I showed you the settings? In the settings area here, all this area here is so important in Facebook, for example. In the messaging area here, we actually need to go through it and build the details in here, okay? So there's our link for to add Messenger to the website. As simple as that, just adding it to your website and actually setting up your payment details, etc., within Messenger. But that's all in the back end of this particular page here, okay? So Celeste, to answer your question, people can shop with you on Facebook and actually get that product at a landing point, which might be a e-commerce site, or alternatively, if you don't have a website or if you don't have a built e-commerce site like on WooCommerce, for example, or Shopify, you can actually create that transaction through your Messenger platform, and they can pay through Messenger. Okay, Does that give you a bit more of insight into that, Celeste?
Yes, thank you.
That's cool. Very, very good. What type of business do you have?
I'm the chamber president in Jindawi.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so are you only the chamber president? That's all you do? You don't actually have, is that what type of business do you have?
I'm a teacher.
Right, very, very good. And well, you'd be very good at this because with Messenger, for example, it's as simple as around 5 steps actually from start to finish in order to get Messenger into your website. So, that is very, very good to understand. Okay. Now, the other area here, are there any more questions about Facebook? Because like I said, when I went through and had a look at all the lists of the businesses for this particular program, a lot of you were using Facebook in order to communicate your story and sell your business online. Is there any further questions in regards to Facebook and selling on Facebook and Facebook Messenger at all? If you do, just unmute yourself. I'm happy to take questions as we go. Rightio, no worries. So let's Facebook Messenger. The other, and I've had a few conversations with a few different people and about in business in regards to Google and actually selling on Google, for example. I'm really, really, really honing in and pressing onto you tonight that outside of e-commerce and outside of social media and outside of all that, developing your marketing plan, etc., you must make sure that you have Google My Business set up. If you haven't got it set up, contact Kate and she'll do it for you, won't you, Kate? But you must get it set. I can't stress it enough to you. You have to make sure that you've got Google My Business set up. You really do, because in that search engine. Further to that, with Google, the great thing about Google is if you have your Google My Business account set up, and I'm going to go through and show you this in the next step, it's going to allow you to sell products on Google. It's going to allow you to dictate where and I'll use that word, where you actually are seen within Google, okay, as a selling platform, because it is a selling platform and it is an e-commerce platform as a search engine. Products post equals products. So what that basically means is once you set up Facebook or a Facebook shop, used correctly, you can then start posting items or products in your shop onto the Facebook page. The same with Google My Business, but in a search engine. So product posts are only available to businesses that have products to feature. So you must be able to put your products in. When you create a product post, it does not go into your post feed as such, but in your product section on your business profile. Products encourage you to highlight specific merchandise or services that your business sells. So whether you're selling a physical product, like we said before, mirrors, or if you're selling an e-product, e.g. a program or a downloadable program, it has to be uploaded within your products area. Every product post goes into your product section, and in addition to the CTA button or call to action button, have a call button as well that uses the listing's primary phone number. All right, so with that sort of thing there here with Google, you really do need to be setting up your Google My Business account, okay? So I, again, can't stress that enough from the fact that you are allowing yourself to be searched and have better searchability, as they say. So in here, number one, I'll show you desktop number one. Rightio, can you see that desktop there okay? The Google, back end of Google? Very good, thanks Kate, thank you very much. This is the back end of Google My Business, okay? So the back end of Google My Business allows you to do so many different things to push out and sell your business. Yes, in Google My Business, you have a home page. Yes, in Google My Business, you are able to post in Google My Business. I think, which was very surprising the other day when I was speaking to a couple of small business owners, that they didn't realize you can post in Google. I'm going to show you why very shortly. So you can actually go through and post in Google, obviously your info area. But what we are looking at tonight is your products area. So at the moment, we've got a couple of products here that are in the shop here. I'm going to show you how easy it is to add a product once you actually build a Google shop or a Google store. So all we basically need to do here is go in and very similar to the Facebook shop. We're going to go in here again and upload our image that we want to sell, or the product or service that we want to sell. And all we do, we put the product in. So there's the product. We can put more images in there if we like. So like before, we're just going to put in here towing mirrors. And we're going to say, look, we don't really want a category, but it's going to be a fixed price. So let's just say our mirrors are $300. Our product description. Now, you don't have to put the price in if you don't want to, but it's favorable if you do. And then we're just going to put in here towing mirrors. Okay. The other thing though too, and as we mentioned before when I was breaking down and introducing this particular site, is the call to action. Okay, so you can actually put in a buy now button, or you can put in an online order button, or you can put in a learn more button as well. So we might just put in learn more, or if you might want to put in a buy button, or you might want to put in an order online button to where you want to actually put it in. When you actually put a product in this store here, what happens is if I just go in here and show you this, this is actually showing you that when I'm searching, there it is there. When I'm actually searching this store through Google, for example, or a search engine, all the products come up here. All your products come up in here. So you can go through, customers can go through and scroll through the products. They can click on the product and they can purchase the product if they wish. In this particular example with TJ Frigs, they don't have that online store in Google just yet. That is coming because we've revamped their whole online website and their store. But the same that they've got on their online store on their website, we're going to be building the same in their Google My Business. The same type of thing. So I'm just giving you the example that once you upload something here in the back end of Google My Business and you publish it, straight away it'll go out into Google or search engines. The other good thing about these particular products, and without going too overboard with giving you too much information about this, you can actually promote products in regards to doing them as an ad through Google as well. So you can actually, if you like, if we go right, we've got an overstock of these particular drawers, we want to get rid of them. We may well go, yep, we want to do an ad for that, so we can actually create an ad and sell it online. When we're actually doing that, and I don't want to go too top heavy with it tonight, but you can actually go through this area here where it just says create an ad, and you might spend as little as $50 a month on a Google ad, which if one of those things sells for $2,500, it sort of pays for itself. So, so creating your Google store and putting products online, there is a lot more to it as well. There's more things that you can do. But like I say, tonight I'm just showing you the basics of how these things operate and how these things work and how you can actually engage with them as well. So that's probably more important as well, is understanding and giving you just like I said at the start of the evening, in this particular space, we've got an hour to probably try and tell you there's so much more, but I'm just giving you the basics of what you can engage with, the very simple things that you can be doing to get your businesses out there to start to actually sell online. There's a very good question that's just come in that I've just seen here that I've laid eyes on in regards to Facebook. And the question was, is Facebook Shop more advertising, but not actually a checkout and pay money? That was from Kylie before. You can actually go through now. I think hopefully I've answered that question about you can actually go through and do transactions through Messenger now in regards to the Facebook Shop. So that's a really good one. Very good. So that very, very good. Okay. So much you can actually do there in that particular space. There are a few trends, as I mentioned at the start of the webinar this evening, that are coming that you need to be aware of. More voice recognition. So there will be a growing volume of voice searches. And so what that means is, and I usually get in a bit of trouble when I do this in a workshop, in standing in front of people, I might go say, hey Siri, where is the Western Downs Regional Council? And then Siri will actually take me through to that product. Or it might be the same as if I'm visiting the area, I might say, hey Siri, where is the local 4x4 shop? And Siri will then actually go through and take me through to all this set up here through Google, for example, and give us that information. Whilst that's not necessarily traditional e-commerce, the extension to that is that for people to be able to find you, to be able to buy from you, this is digitally creating a transaction because people are wanting to search for you, okay? So just bear in mind, more of the voice recognition is most certainly coming, and so just prep yourself for that into the future. And there's going to be more ways to pay. So social media platforms, for example, with Facebook and Instagram, the same. I don't go into Snapchat and TikTok business. I don't go into that type of thing here tonight because it is available, but it's a bit complicated. So trying to explain that tonight is probably a little bit too in depth. But there will be more ways in order to pay for products and services. Trust me, there will be more ways to go. And the other thing is what we call AI. So artificial intelligence helps shops learn more about shoppers. So, for example, if I've purchased from you previously from your online store or your e-commerce store, I can actually push out advertising through my e-commerce store to people through Messenger, getting a Messenger message straight through to that person and say, hey, we're having a 20% off sale, and it goes straight to them. Okay? That's the type of power of data information and these platforms actually bring. It's about that upsell opportunity all the time. Okay, so we're right on 6:30 tonight. Look, again, thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening. Like I say, a lot to get through. I've compressed it as much as I possibly can. Tonight's webinar proudly presented by the Western Downs Regional Council Business Station, Australian Small Business Advisory Service, Regional Development Australia, and Clinton Beck Consulting, plus all the great chambers and the business groups that are supporting this program. It's fantastic. Okay, now, if you've got any questions, we've gone a little bit over time, but that's okay. If you've got any questions, please fire away. I'm happy to answer any questions about websites that we may have talked about on Tuesday night or e-commerce that we've talked about tonight. If you've got any questions, please fire away.
Clinton? Yeah, with Google My Business, can you, when you update it, do you have to manually update that, or can you update all social platforms together with Google My Business?
Yeah, so with Google My Business, for example, I'll just go out, stop sharing that. So yeah, with Google My Business, it is a general update. It's a general manual update.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I think that with that type of scenario, I understand where you're getting at, but it is a general update. So
yeah,
you do have to go through and manually update Google My Business.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any changes to your business at all, generally that's going to be a manual process.
Okay. And do you get notified just with when someone wants to purchase a product or have a look at it? Do you get normally notified by email, or can you put Messenger with that?
Yeah, so in Google, for example, you've got the availability to actually add in the message button, so you can actually, they can message you directly through Google.
Oh, that's good. Yep. Okay.
on that platform, people, if they see something that they want to buy from you on Google My Business or for or your product area in Google My Business, people can actually message you directly on your Google site. So just like you might on Google My Business, for example, where you might be replying to a review, notification or an email to say, oh, you know, such and such has left a review on your Google My Business site. It's the same with if someone's got an interest in your product or wants to buy your product or has questions about your product, they can message you on Google My Business.
Thank you.
The big thing about Google My Business, and slightly aside to e-commerce, for example, is you are putting in information in order to be found. So searchability. When you use Google My Business effectively, and like I did mention on Tuesday night, the amount of people that say, I want to be on the home page of Google, I want to be on the front, #1 page, you can actually manipulate that by feeding it information, by posting on Google, and by putting products and services on Google. The more you put into Google, the more return you're going to get. It's as simple as that. So if someone asks me, a couple of my colleagues might disagree, but they're saying, what's more, I was asked the question, what's more important, Facebook or Google? And I say, well, not everyone's on Facebook, but everyone has the capability of going onto a search engine through Google, Bing, or whatever. So, and again, that 90% of Australians with a mobile device, they're at home and they're Googling stuff. 100%. And that's where, Google it came from, I suppose. Okay, any other questions from the floor about Tuesday night with the website development, e-commerce this evening? Any other questions from the floor? Happy to take questions. Any more questions from the floor? We're all good? Okay, very good. Look, what I will leave you with, I know with these webinars, they're very compressed. There's a lot of information in it, and there's a lot of things that you might think, oh, geez, this is a bit overwhelming. But the most important thing is that when you're actually doing decide what you want to do for your business, make sure that you know that the time and effort that you're going to put into it, you're going to get a return. And that's most important. And the other thing too is, if you've got any questions outside of tonight, by all means, message me on Messenger, ask me any questions. If you are going to go on that website journey to build your website or to build your e-commerce site, please, I'm not going to bite, ask me the question, and I'll actually, I think I got an email there on Tuesday or Wednesday actually, asking me a question about something about websites. I'm more than happy to answer it for you. My main objective is to make sure that you get it right. You do it and you get it right. That is the most important. You want to know what you're missing out on, because you're missing out on a bit at the moment, I think. So it's all good. Again, thank you very much for coming tonight, taking the time out of your evening to come and listen to me. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation. I know there's a lot to take on board, but I'm just giving you the basics, or tonight, I've just given you the basics of what you need to know. Okay? Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, and again, if you've got any questions, by all means, please reach out to me. All right, see you later, Ray.